Hello, Roy Mithril here once again. No gameplay in the background this time, just doesn't feel right to do since this is a serious topic. For those that just want the meat of it, the too long didn't watch version is that this morning my cousin passed away. Those that have been following events know he's the one that was suffering from Alzheimer's for the past year or two, and he passed this morning. As such, obviously, channel stuff is going to be on the back burner for the time being, as we have to figure out final arrangements and such, so my priority is with the family at the moment. I will come back to work on things once everything settles, but that might be a bit just as a fair warning. So, with that being said, on to the more detailed version. So, backing up a couple of days, 2 nights ago, I didn't sleep well. I didn't even fall asleep until like 10 a.m. and got up at my usual time of around 2 p.m. So, I was super tired yesterday. When I finally got to bed last night, or this morning, whatever you want to call it, I crashed and hard. And as such, I slept through all of the events of this morning. When I got up at my usual time, my uncle told me the details. He sat me down and told me that my cousin had passed away. Apparently, it was just a normal morning all around. My cousin and uncle, they were sitting in the living room watching TV together, and my cousin sat up saying he felt a discomfort in his abdomen. My uncle asked if he thought he needed to go to the hospital, but he declined, saying he felt like he just needed to go to the bathroom. So my uncle helped him up and walked him there, got him situated, and left him to do his thing. But then after a few minutes he heard him collapse. He went in to check on him and found him collapsed on the floor, eyes closed and breathing very shallowly. Immediately he called 911, though apparently he got cut off on the call at some point, but he was at least connected long enough to get all of the major address and details stuff to the people on the other end. However, by the time the ambulance got here and my uncle directed the EMTs where they needed to go, my cousin had already stopped breathing, and there was just nothing they could really do. My uncle was too distraught in the moment to get the full details, but the EMTs gave it some weird rhyming name, he said, and that it sounded like bagel or something like that. Apparently, it had something to do with him straining too much, to where blood was going to the straining muscles and there wasn't enough left for his heart, or just something to that effect. That was basically all the details that my uncle got and was able to give to me. So this was all told to me first thing once I got up today, and for a while, the news just left me feeling kind of numb in a way. And I think in some ways it's just sort of a mental defense, if that makes sense. Like my mind just kind of trying to keep it together as best I can. It was also partly that I was still kind of groggy from having just gotten up, as it's started hitting me more the longer this day has progressed. Another part is, I think in some way I was kind of expecting something to happen this year. His Alzheimer's had been getting worse and worse. I mean, obviously that's not something that really improves. It doesn't just miraculously get better, you regain all your faculties and lost memories and everything. That sadly does not happen. But it had been getting really bad lately. He was starting to hit levels of paranoia from it. Like, a couple of days ago, I found him timidly peeking out from his room, and I asked if he was okay. He was convinced people were shooting down the hallway, and he was afraid to cross from his room to the bathroom. I tried to talk him down, tell him that nothing like that was going on or ever had, but he was convinced that I didn't know what I was talking about. But eventually I was able to just kind of gently guide him across the hall myself to get him to the bathroom, convince him it was safe, but yeah, I was hitting him very badly. Gaps between his episodes were getting shorter, fewer truly lucid periods amidst the Alzheimer's taking control. So, on some level, I think I was prepared for something to happen, just wasn't expecting it so fast or for it to not actually have anything to do with the Alzheimer's itself. So, of course, we're trying to tell ourselves at least he's free from that. He's not suffering anymore, remembering the good times, the usual ways that you have of coping with a loss like this. It never really gets easier, but I guess in some way, experience tells you how to handle it as best you can. At the current point, we're sort of in a holding pattern. We're having to wait for details to figure out what to do for final arrangements, as he never wrote down any instructions or told us anything. We have to figure out any accounts he had to make sure they're not still getting billed, all those unpleasantries. So obviously, right now my focus is on family stuff, so channel work is going to be slow for the foreseeable future. Which I feel bad saying that because I know due to my own mental health, it hasn't been the most productive as of late anyway. I'm really hoping things hit a point of calming down to where I can get back to working on things more solidly again. I miss that. I also want to extend my most heartfelt, eternal thanks to everyone who continues to support me, be it my close circle of friends that have been seeing me through this and have done so all the other times I've experienced these losses in my family over the years, to those who support me financially by donating on my PayPal or my Patreon, even those that are just fans of my work but are very patient and understanding that real life just loves to throw curveballs, which, honestly, it can stop doing that to me and my family and friends any time now, thanks. 2023 really needs to slow its roll, and I mean, it feels like it just started right out the gate this year just being horrible to my circle of friends and my family, and it hasn't let up. I'm hoping that once things at least settle down a little bit, I might feel like at least doing some one-off type stuff to just at least still provide some sort of content, like some roguelite runs or just other games that I don't know if they'd be the best for a full playthrough, but just to at least put something up on the channel. But I can't promise anything at the moment. We'll have to see how things work out from here, but just to assure you, I don't plan on closing down the channel or anything. I just have to reach a point of equilibrium and get back to working on things, but I suppose, I guess that's basically everything I had to say. That's kind of the long and the short of it. I just wanted to keep everyone posted, informed of what's going on my end. So with that, thank you for your patience, understanding, and support, and I will see you again, hopefully sooner rather than later. Until then, fare thee well.